all of those rhetorical aesthetic flourishes capture one idea that I think is at the heart of the book that actually I don't think gets enough scholarly inquiry, and it's the idea of the kingdom of culture. And when he says these lines, I sit with Shakespeare and he winces not. It took Elizabeth Alexander to teach me that was iambic pentameter. But
is it really?
Yeah, I sit with Shakespeare and he winces not. So the guy's a show off. But the idea that he puts the Negro spirituals alongside these great works of poetry, these references that he just sort of casually remarks, all embedded in the text. The idea that they're, that I think was so stifling when I was in college was the idea that you could carve up the world into discrete intellectual categories, and that the black intellectuals are here and they only talk to each other, right? The post-colonial intellectuals are here and they only talk to each other. You break them into further categories, and I've always bristled against that kind of partitioning of the world. And I think DuBois gives you a real model, a set of vocabulary to intervene and say, there's a portability with intellectual life that transcends the kinds of boundaries that the world tries to erect around it. It's affected by those. It moves through these boundaries. It's shaped by them. But in the last instance, you can't stop DuBois from picking up Marx and making it do something new. Right? You can't stop, figures from the contemporary period, someone like the African-American political theorist Danielle Allen, from picking up Aristotle and Hobbes and Ralph Ellison, making them all speak in a new register. That's what the life and vocation of intellectualism is. I think at its best, these programs like directed studies, social studies, which I teach in, African American studies, these kinds of interdisciplinary programs really, I think, try to aspire to that sort of ideal. They often fall short, but to me, that's the really incredible thing about the book. And it demonstrates that with a kind of lyricism and beauty that I think, causes you to not want to live in a world that would be so truncated by those categories.